This podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Our friends over at SeatGeek are giving us a promo code of TBA Wrestling. That is TBA Wrestling for $20 off your first purchase. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Gunners Are Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
Yeah, I thought I'd keep it positive by using that cadence again.
It was
still.
good cadence.
But
I must admit,
it's a mixed bag.
it's a mixed bag.
I don't know how to feel.
I did Monday's episode on my own, and I kind of said it on there. We used to be positively international.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Mm.
And I couldn't really figure out if I was positively international this time. And I feel strongly
Yeah.
on two things. That I'm not positively international.
No.
And that we're not bad for pulling our players. And we will get into that again today, because the only thing I'd say is on Monday I got deep into that. And I said we wouldn't really overly do it unless there's more injuries.
Yeah.
As far as I know, we haven't gained any more injuries from Calafiori still being there, Gyökeres still being there, Ben White still being there. I believe we've got through it scot-free, no pun. Mm-hmm. But we'll get into that today, because we will brush on that before we get geared up, because this is it. And I kind of set the table for us on Monday, kind of saying, this is the downhill event. This is
We're back.
this is, we're without a paddle now.
Yeah, this is it now.
This is it. Don't get scared.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what they call the run-in. We're talking quarterfinals of FA Cup, potentially more. We're talking quarterfinals of Champions League, potentially more. We're talking the Premier League, potentially more. And that is all going to happen in the next. What is it? It's April 1st today.
Yeah.
We should have done April Fool's joke to start.
Oh,
Realise that now.
no.
Calafiori got injured. He didn't have the April Fool's. Anyway, we're not going to muck about with that, because as Arsenal fans, I think we're too on the cusp to be mucking about with.
Yeah, we'll have a breakdown if you do that.
We will.
Don't tempt us.
We will.
We'll go
So
over
we've
the
got
edge.
the whole of April and half of May, basically. So there's 7 weeks. In 7 weeks' time, that is 7 more Wednesdays.
That's mad.
That is 7 more Mondays with me. That is, dare I say, 40 to 50 more Patreons, guys. So click the link below if you want that Patreon. You want those extra episodes. We're doing a raffle every single month to give away a graded Arsenal card. And you get 4 or 5 episodes a week on the Patreon. So click the link below.
Now's the time.
It's about £6. And yeah, the next 7 weeks, you're going to get close to 40 episodes, I would have thought.
It's going to be a lot to talk about, I feel, whether it's good or bad.
I kind of agree, because it's going to be chaos. This is going to be emergency pods. This is going to be reviews, previews, panic pods. This is going to have everything in the world on there, because we are officially here. And this is what I kind of want to talk about today.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to predict the 7 weeks.
That feels like bad juju if you do that.
Yeah, but I want to kind of, as a whole, talk about it, because later on in the week on the Patreon, I will be previewing Southampton in the FA Cup. So if you want a deep dive in that and get really revved up for the FA Cup quarterfinal, go to the Patreon. But today we will glance on it, like we'll glance on the international injuries. We will glance on looking back at the league, and we'll look forward to what's going to happen and what's coming in these downhill events.
Yeah.
So, start.
Yeah.
You go.
No, where were you going to start first?
I don't know.
Just so I don't derail us.
Depends where you want to start.
I want to talk about the international stuff. I'm not going to talk about like the pulling out and the, when in doubt, pull out,
I'll relax on that one.
I'm not going to talk about all that.
Pause.
I'm going to talk about international football as a whole.
Ooh, okay. Didn't know that's where this was going. Go on.
I'm not a big fan of international football.
You enjoy the World Cup, though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
we all do.
When I was a kid, international football was fun. Now it just disrupts my team.
Yeah, and I think if your team was 11th right now, do you reckon you'd enjoy it a bit more?
Yeah, way more. But I said to you the other day, I feel like everyone is so annoyed with international football to a top level. I feel like this is a ridiculous take.
That's what we want, and we want to rage bait you into listening.
And there's probably loads of reasons why this can't happen. But why can't international football be solely for lower league players?
Oh, I can't believe you've just said
Like, why can't you let them have the joy of playing for their country? Because the top level players in the Premier League teams and that, and even top league teams in other countries, have plenty to enjoy at the top level. Let the lower league players take the mantle and get the glory of playing for their country. So we don't have to deal with it.
I think this is such an aggressive take. The only thing I'd say is I'm glad it's so early in the pod, because someone right now is furiously commenting here on iTunes and Spotify, or finding us on our TikTok, Gunners Are Us, or Instagram, or God knows where, TBA Wrestling on everything else if you want to just find us personally. But
Yep, do you know why? Because there's probably a Colchester fan somewhere saying, "Don't take my players, we need them."
I don't disagree with your take. Well, no, do you know I do, but I think there's some credit there, but I don't think maybe I don't necessarily want to watch a World Cup this year with lower league German players versus lower league Premier.
No, it takes some getting used to.
Championship.
It takes some getting used to that you got to watch lower league players play for your country.
I think I'm okay. I think there's more to do with
friendlies maybe. Friendlies.
I just think they've kind of ruined it for the sense of players recovering. They do not get summers now. On a year where there's nothing happening, they get around 2 weeks before they go back to preseason. So it's already ruined. They're not really recovering in 2 weeks. It used to be back in the day they were away 6 weeks or something.
It's ages.
They could get away from football and kind of recoup, let their body recover, and then they'd have to get back into shape. Yeah. Whereas now they stay on shape on holiday. You see these pictures of Declan Rice, and he's doing 10-mile run on his beach or something, and then he's with his kids, and it's looking after kids is hard. Running on the beach is hard. Travelling is hard. And he's only there for 2 weeks. Yeah. And then he comes back to Arsenal, and they're like, you're slightly under because you're not doing what we're doing. Yeah. But you're pretty much there. Then when's his back going to recover? You know what I mean? When's his hamstring going to feel not under tension?
Yeah.
So it's such a weird one. But yeah, go on.
The other side of that coin, though, I'm going to say, this is not me being the old guy down the pub, saying stuff. But their careers are short. They have a short window. They spend their childhood coming up through the ranks, and then they work their way to the top level, like a Declan Rice, let's say. Mm-hmm. He puts a shift in, earns the money he earns, gets it all done, so he can afford to have a family and all this stuff and nice holidays if he can.
Yeah.
But it's a short window. By the time he hits his mid-30s, hopefully,
he's probably done.
He's probably done, and then he can relax with all the money in the world. Yeah. And look back at everything. So I don't think there's no real harm in them not really having much time off at this point. Because, if you think of a normal person, a normal regular person.
Yeah, a regular person gets a 2-week holiday a year, that's it.
Yeah, well, let's say...
And they live and breathe 5 days a week.
Well, let's say they go into work at 16. Yeah. Like I did. You go into work at 16, and you work until you're what?
65, 70?
Maybe older, depending on what your financial
65,
setup is.
65, I would have said, yeah.
And it could be anything. It could be on a building site. It could be anywhere. So you're physically just putting a shift in.
Yeah, 49 years, 50 years of work.
While raising kids, having a family, not making life-changing money, making enough to get by. Hopefully putting some aside if you can.
Yeah, and in that 50 years, you get 2 weeks every year that you go on holiday.
And you're broken down.
If you can afford it.
Yeah, if you can afford it, yeah, because you're broken down.
But you still get the 2 weeks off. You could also sit at home for 2 weeks.
Yeah. But I mean, that person, that's their whole life.
Yeah, they don't get well, they do get fatigue.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone does, but but they could do with it. But the only reason I agree with your sentiment, but
as a fan,
yeah. But what I was going to say was the thing is though, I agree that they're only doing it for a short window. But the problem is that we've seen it in World Cup years, things like the football just gets bad. That you give them no breaks, they all we've seen it this year even with the injuries, the amount of injuries. Now the top players aren't playing week to week, and now players are playing more risk averse because they're like, well, if we keep the ball, we don't have to run as much, and we don't have to do that. They're trying to they're playing defense with their own bodies. If I don't overly stretch today, I can get through this year without an injury. Yeah, but they know it's coming. Yeah, so because of that. As much as it's like the old adage, isn't it? When you watch it with older generations, and they go, "If I got paid $300 a week, I'd run it into the ground."
I'd never take a holiday.
I said, but here's the thing: do you know what happens? Is you do get paid $200, brilliant. Then you don't recover. Yeah. You play 2 days later. Yeah. And then by the 60th minute, you're off with a tear that keeps you up for the whole season. Yeah. And then. And someone sat at home going, "Well, if you gave me $300, I wouldn't let my hamstrings tear." And it's not a real argument because like you said, every human burns out in real life. Football players burn out. It's too much football. It's too much physically running and just kind of running yourself into the ground. And we've seen it this year. I feel kind of exhausted watching Arsenal just because we're going to see him play 65 games potentially this year. Yeah. And we joke about NBA and MLB and that having 180 games. Yeah. They're playing they're getting up there towards half of them.
Yeah. And it's a different sport.
And I mean, you can stand in the outfield and swing a bat a couple of times every other day for 3 months a year. Yeah. We're talking with the World Cup and that.
Flat out.
12 months. With England matches, Declan Rice will play with the World Cup and pre-season and the friendlies throughout the season. Yeah. He's going to be at probably 75 towards 80 in a 12-month calendar, which works out at what is that? Every 4 days he played a game,
and covering a bigger surface than the NBA do on their courts.
There's no sport harder on the body, I don't think, physically, as far as fitness, muscles, and stuff like that, than football.
Yeah.
And we've seen as well that there's so many. We've seen what Saka's been like the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
He's not right.
Well, the last few seasons, he doesn't walk right.
Since he tore his hamstring, he's working against something.
Yeah.
But even in the last 6 weeks, we've seen like everyone's going, oh, he's not good. It's like, yeah. Do you want every player looking like that?
Yeah.
You have to give him a rest. And he's just had 2 weeks off. That's going to benefit him. And the reason they sent him back was general fatigue. They said... Yeah. Yeah, salute on that. But something I was going to mention was when I was saying that they've already ruined it where they only get 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
My thought has always been, pre-season starts in like mid-July. They start the Premier League mid-August.
Yeah.
Cool. Absolutely fine. Certain players can get a bit longer if they're fatigued and they can come to pre-season a bit late, but still early enough that they start the season. Last year, we had 4 international breaks before December. Then we had another one in March. For me, that 5 in a year is too many.
Yeah.
I think when we were younger, it was 2. It was one in like November, there was one in March. I think they're fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I think what they should do is no friendly ones. They should only be...
important ones.
Yeah, they've added Nations League, but Nations League, Euros, World Cup qualifiers, they can all be played throughout the year.
Yeah.
And I get they needed to do it this year because, for example, this March one, England don't need to play a game this year.
No.
Because we're qualified.
Yeah.
But we had to do like 4 stops, which is 8 games.
Yeah.
To me, I think, and it doesn't make sense sometimes because like England, to get through the qualifiers, sometimes use a certain team that don't get to play in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because they're not in form anymore or they're injured or whatever it is. For me, I think the solution would be, you leave that one in November, a couple games. You leave the one in March. Even if you want to extend it to 10 days and, you have like the Premier League end on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then they do a weekend game, the weekday, and then a weekend, and then a weekday. So you get 4 games in like whatever. And therefore the squads can rotate and things like that. And one, that'd be a good way of stopping it from being like multiple stops. But the other one would be just at the end of the season, once the last Champions League game gets played, the final, there's a 2-week window where all the internationals are playing. It's like a World Cup.
Yeah.
But it's the qualifiers. So people are flying here and there, whatever, and they get through it. And this is in the year there's no World Cup. Then they go away, and then they get their 2-3 weeks. Then they carry on the season. But they don't have to keep going away to the internationals.
Yeah.
The following year will be a tournament. So anything that needs to get done gets done in the November and the March.
Yep.
And then any kind of friendlies you want, you put it right before the Euros. And then the Euros finishes. And because you're adding 5 internationals, you're having 2, that's 3 weeks gained. So that means the Premier League can end at May 1st.
Yeah. Yeah.
And therefore, all these internationals will be done by the end of May, which is when usually it all ends anyway.
Yeah.
So they're not gaining anything, but you just put all the internationals together. And also, you would have a team, because you've watched the whole Premier League, or wherever it is, all these English players playing, their league season finished, and the manager can go, I know my team because I know who was good this year. And they pick the best team they can find from that year they just watched. Yeah. And therefore, you're getting a good indication of the team you want, not, in November, Mainu was unbelievable, but by March, Elliot Anderson is undroppable. Yeah. Then Garner appears. And, and again, that's good to find these players, but, if you'd done this at the end of the season, you would play Elliot Anderson and Garner and these players.
Based on recent
You wouldn't have played some of the others. You thought, I don't know why. Why was I picking him for a period of time? Yeah. And it also gives you a better indication of what that team is. Because, for example, England had a horrible week. Uruguay and double yellow card. They didn't get red card. Madueke got injured. One of their players got badly injured. It's just a stupid day out. 1-1, whatever.
Yeah, no one gained anything.
Then we played Japan last night with a team that will not, dare I say, 2 of those players will make it onto a starting 11. Yeah. In my opinion, at the World Cup. Yeah. And fans went and watched it and watched one of the worst 1-0 losses you'll see. Yeah. Because Japan were far better. Yeah. And today I've seen it, disaster, England, not a great start, they're going to struggle in the World Cup. So, no, they're not, because it's your lower league team.
Different play.
Yeah, no, it was Cole Palmer, Foden, Rodgers.
But not the team that's going to start.
It's not the team that's going to start. I mean, the front 3 in the World Cup is going to be Kane, Saka and Rashford. None of them started. And midfield last night, I think, I can't remember who was in midfield. It was Mainu, someone. I really don't actually remember. But it's going to be Jude Bellingham and Rice, who weren't even there. Yeah. And then Elliot Anderson. I can't remember if Elliot Anderson played last night. You had Gay and O'Reilly who played. Yeah. They will play. And then I can't remember who the other. I think it might have been Konza and might be Ben White. And then Livramento came on. And I'm fairly sure in the World Cup, it's going to be if Reece James fit, it'd be Reece James. That's what I mean. They're doing all this, and then they're like, we're going to pick Reece James anyway, even though he hasn't played for 2 months.
Yeah.
Because it's Reece James.
Yeah.
And so it all just feels a bit like a mess. But the main talking point has been all week, and again, I don't want to go too far on this because on Monday this is all we spoke about. We're going to get into Arsenal after this, but I have to say, I'm seeing the tweets, I'm seeing the group chats, I'm seeing everything going absolutely wild for, I saw one tweet as a response to all the players that have pulled out of the internationals.
Yeah.
And what clubs happened, which clubs did that, for example.
Yeah.
And the response to the Arsenal, because it was a lot of Arsenal players.
Yeah, it was.
And it said these cretins need to be banned or something. And I was just like, there's players have done this since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
It's just we didn't have Twitter being so wound up because Arsenal were top.
Yeah.
That, at the end of the day, I can't remember the actress who was on Chris Evans' thing the other day. And she's a big Arsenal fan. Her husband's a big Arsenal fan. And she was saying it because he was kind of going, yeah, but Arsenal fans are delusional. She was like, it's not that. Like, that's like the go-to.
Yeah.
We've been so gaslit by the fact that the media know they get hits out of Arsenal fans. So they make up constant narratives. And it doesn't fit. And like people even know they're doing it now. And they'll say, like, that doesn't fit my narrative though. It doesn't work. It's like, It's like they know what they're doing. And it is Arsenal. But this season's been like a rage bait season because Arsenal are top.
Yeah.
So therefore anything that happens, they'll find, Arsenal waste so much time. And then the stats came out. It's front page news for 2 weeks. Arsenal waste too much time, Dark Arts FC. Then Opta and Athletic and that released the stats, and Arsenal in the top 3 of least amount of times wasted.
Yeah.
That doesn't get front page news.
Yeah.
They just move on. So the average person sees that and goes, oh, wow, they are big wasters.
Yeah.
Then they carry on. And then so they're collecting these narratives that are proven away. Did we get the most players removed from the internationals this international window? Yes.
Yeah.
That is no fact. That is no lies, Tom.
But I mean, we were proven right because a load of our players got injured.
Yeah.
So the ones we didn't remove got injured anyway.
Yeah.
So, and these games weren't important.
That's the thing. I really would love to find the kind of.
I mean, if this was qualifiers and we had like Italy and Sweden,
yeah,
like our players played for them.
Yeah, Arsenal did not pull Gyökeres, did not pull Calafiori, they did not pull Gabriel, Martinelli, even though he's not in a qualifier. They did not pull Ben White. There is reasons for it, and I really wish I could find it because it kind of showed like. So here's the thing: they basically City had pulled 1, and like Villa had pulled 1, Newcastle 2, and blah blah, and then the rest of the teams none.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal 11. I'm just going to debunk some of this again.
Okay.
Arsenal personally pulled these people from thingies apparently. Eze, no, he was injured before the Carabao Cup final, was never picked. Declan Rice and Saka, the England manager chose not to play them and send them home because of fatigue. Nothing to do with Arsenal. Madueke went.
Yeah.
And he left in a knee brace. He got pulled. Not by Arsenal. He got sent back to his team because he was hurt and he couldn't play.
Yeah.
Zubimendi played 1 game. The manager said, I don't need to see him in the second one. He can go back for treatment.
Yeah.
Arsenal didn't pull. Timber never got picked because he was injured. Never went.
Yeah.
Trossard never went because he didn't get picked because he was injured.
Yeah.
Saliba and Gabriel never went. But they were pulled from the national squad before they went. Hincapi got injured during a match. He's going to be out for a period of time.
Yeah.
Odegaard never got picked. So he never got pulled. So of all them, you got Eze, Odegaard, Timber, and Trossard. They never got picked. So that 11's not a real number.
Yeah.
It's 7.
Yeah.
Okay. And then of those ones, people that actively got injured in their matches, Madueke and Hincapi. That's another 2. That was nothing to do with Arsenal. They got sent back because they needed medical attention.
Yeah.
So that's 5 is the actual answer.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are Saka and Rice, who Tuchel actually said they can have a week off, they're too fatigued. Then he saw them and said they're too fatigued to play the second game. So not Arsenal. So the answer is 3 that's been pulled.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were pulled before all this, and they were definitely lies.
Yeah.
Saliba and Gabriel are not hurt, they were just pulled.
Yeah.
And I think that's just smart.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Ferguson would pull 3 of his best players right before. Like
100%.
He'd finished the last Premier League game, and then you go, oh yeah, Beckham, Jaap Stam, and Van Nistelrooy cannot go. They're hurt, and they just done 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, this is like an hour after kickoff, after the final whistle. Everyone go, what? They go, yeah, they're hurt. And then the next Premier League game they'd all start.
Yeah.
They're absolutely fine. That's normal. Of these players, in my opinion, Gabriel and Saliba were the lies that were told.
Yeah, yeah.
Zubimendi was sent home by his internationals. Trossard, like I said, was injured. Madueke got injured. Hincapi got injured. We're not going to be with them now.
No.
So that 11 number is really about 3.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the naughty ones in there are Saliba and Gabriel for sure.
There's only 2, really.
And then Zubimendi was sent home because he'd been seen like Saka and Rice, but that was an international decision. Because what a lot of people don't know is managers can ask for help, but they cannot get players back. The manager has to make that decision.
Yeah.
The international governing body has to make the decision whether that's acceptable. Same with Saliba and Gabriel and all these people. They need a medical shown to them to prove that they are injured. They can't.
It's like jury duty.
Yeah,
if you get it, you got to do it.
Yeah, you cannot lie. You cannot lie fully.
Yeah.
But you can bend the truth. And in my opinion, Saliba and Gabriel were pulled by bending the truth. Yeah. The rest of them either went or were injured prior. That
madness.
So that number, look, I can scroll through. Look, live score: 11 Arsenal players. That's awful. And then people saying Arsenal players pretending to be injured on international duty.
Yeah.
Like Madueke wanted to leave in a knee brace.
Yeah.
Like
probably going to miss the rest of the season, maybe.
Yeah, and Cappy pulled up on a counter attack with it grabbing his thigh. So all that stuff is just so frustrating, and it's become such a talking point. And then the talking point on Sky Sports is, but if they don't win the league now, how embarrassing is it that they turn their backs on their countries? It's like, what are we doing? Same as Ben White getting booed. I mean, you don't know the full story.
They were friendlies. It doesn't. None of it matters.
Yeah, the only people that got pulled were people in friendlies.
Yeah.
Everyone else stayed.
Yeah, everyone in qualifiers. Everyone that needed to do stuff for their country. Yeah, they stayed.
I've never seen something so ridiculous. The conversation around it is ridiculous. I can't believe it hasn't happened every year because Pep pulled $1 million last year. He pulled $1 million the last 10 years. So did Klopp. Was awful at it. Yeah. Ferguson made literally a career of it.
Yeah.
He knew. When we talk about, I've been joking for a long time now that eventually City will win out. Whether it's with 1 game to go, whether it's with 10 games to go, they will start to win out.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Do you know how they usually prep to do that? By the international break in March. They pull all their players. He keeps them all at the training ground. He talks to them, gets them wound up, and they do the run-in and they win leagues.
Yeah.
Do you know who else did that? Ferguson.
Yeah.
And do you know what those 2 teams are known for? Winning Premier Leagues by winning out the last 10 games.
You got to do what you got to do.
And do you know what international break has always existed? The one right before the 10 games left.
Yeah.
That's just football. Like, you know, and it's the fact that this hasn't been brought up till this year. It's just another reminder that Arsenal are rage-baited into people like us doing this podcast and moaning about it, as I just did. But that's my piece on it. That's my piece.
Okay.
I think I'm done with internationals until the World Cup. Again, in the World Cup, in this summer break, guys, this podcast will become Positively England.
Yeah.
We will be covering the World Cup, and that will still be getting covered on the Patreon and previews and all that, and we'll be talking about all sorts, including transfers. We'll be getting to, at the end of the season, our predictions and how we got on. I can't remember where the predictions are written down, but they're somewhere. If we did them. I think we did.
So.
We'll also be predicting the transfer window. We do all these kind of things. So there's loads of great stuff. Even once the season ends, it's not a season like last year where nothing happened. And you kind of we just did podcasts where we actually, you believe it or not, it's such a small window because by the time you've got nothing to talk about, it's like June 1st. The preseason starts mid-July.
And you also find more fun things to talk about as well because when we do this, you have to kind of talk about what's going on. It's very relevant to the time.
Yeah. And also, it was like 6 episodes we had to cover.
Yeah.
And I mean, the first one was like reviewing the season.
Yeah.
The one right before the preseason is previewing the season.
Yeah.
And that means there's 4 in the middle.
Yeah. And there's always transfers or something.
There was lots last year for us, and Andrea Berta came here and lit up our lives.
Yeah.
So we had loads to talk about. So even in a down season, this podcast continues right through the summer. And this year it's going to be absolutely more because this is the first World Cup we're experiencing on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We've only done the Euros.
Yeah.
And the World Cup, I think the World Cup might have just finished when we started the pod, right?
Potentially, yeah. I think we did.
Oh, it was like 6 months prior because it was the December one.
Yeah.
It was in December. We started the following August. So it wasn't right away, but yeah, so this will be the first World Cup. We've done a Euros. I was in America for it.
Yeah.
I was covering it on my phone next to a pool.
Yeah.
It went very well until it didn't.
Mm.
But Arsenal, England have been very good. So we will table England in about 8 weeks' time. We'll be deep in England.
Yeah.
And I will not be talking about all this. And people won't be complaining about Saka being pulled because they'll be going, please, Saka, score.
Yeah.
Either way, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Here we are. This is what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
This is why we're Positively Arsenal. This is why it's called Gunners Are Us. We need to talk about Arsenal. And this is the start of the end.
That sounds ominous.
You know, we've talked about it in the past. You know, like sometimes when you kind of know you have to do something, there's no way out. There's no
way
backing
out.
out.
No.
You have to do it.
This is it, though.
We talk about wrestling. We come from a wrestling background. When you first start wrestling, it's terrifying to to do it in front of an audience for the first few times, right? For example, or probably ever, really. But there's a feeling of when you're about to go out that curtain, you think at any point, as a human, you have the right to just go, nah.
Yeah.
It's not professional.
Yeah.
But you have an ability.
You can.
Once you leave that curtain and that crowd see you, don't matter if you're scared, whatever it is,
There's
you
no
got
going
kind
back.
of you got no going back now. You got to get through it.
You've jumped.
You think of cage fights. Then once they're in that cage, you can't really do anything. You got to go and do that now.
You're either going to win or lose.
And Arsenal are in that moment now. They've made the walk.
Yeah.
The crowd can see them.
It's there.
All of our vulnerabilities and insecurities are on the table. All the media's on the table.
Yep.
All the results are on the table. All the goals are on the table. All our players are on the table. Everyone can see us in pure daylight, doctor light on.
Yeah.
I'm talking bright.
Yeah.
Needs shades.
Yeah, everyone's looking.
Now everyone's going to go, now go do it.
Prove something.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is literally the moment. And it starts in a weird way because we are starting with an FA Cup game and then a Champions League game. Then we're getting to the Premier League.
Yeah.
But
that will tell us a lot about those tournaments we're in very quickly.
You know, we talked about... we never felt we were in a quad chase, did we?
Not really, no.
I think if I really deep down thought about it, I thought, oh, could we get a Carabao Cup over the line but win the league? And I thought, that'd be a double. I'll be happy with a double.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think... I think we've got a... I'm going to put the chances at 20%. I think we've got a 20% chance of winning the FA Cup.
Yeah.
No, I think we've got a 30% chance because I think there's 3 very good teams potentially going to be in the semis.
Yeah.
And you got to get through Southampton. You got to get through that semi at Wembley. You got to get through the final.
Yeah.
We just proved in the Carabao. You could do really well and get to a final, and then it's just any given Sunday.
Yeah.
So the FA Cup, I put us at like a 30% chance.
Mm-hmm.
The Champions League, I put us at like a 20% chance.
Yeah.
So the idea of people saying go win that treble now, I'm like, I still can't get my head around people that are saying that. Like, I didn't ever expect to win the Champions. Like, I thought we'd win the Champions League or the Premier League as the best case scenario.
Yeah.
And I thought one would fall away and the other one didn't. They're both there.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a nice draw in the Champions League. The Premier League is there. So I'm a bit confused now because it's like, what one would you take? 100% Premier League for me.
Yep.
The FA Cup is just kind of sitting there. It's almost a little bit annoying it's there, right? Because as an Arsenal fan, seeing all these injuries on the international, would we kind of be... Could it have been nice to just not be playing this week?
Yeah.
Even Champions League, if you dare I say, like, you remove that Champions League, we're not playing till Bournemouth. It's 2 more weeks. Wait, so 10 more days until we play Bournemouth?
It's tough. I don't know if it's from like a semi-spoiled perspective, but we've won the FA Cup not that long ago. I know it is now really technically quite long ago, but we know what that looks like. We know what that feels like. The 2 that we haven't seen or felt for a long time, if not any, is the Premier League and the Champions League. So the FA Cup is kind of annoying, but I mean, there is a part of me also that, because we're in 3 and we've got a chance, I'd rather at least know we've got a chance at 1 of 3 than if it was just the Premier League.
Yeah.
I know it's more games. I know it's like an added stressor and less break time. But if someone said to you right now, you can either be in the position we're in right now and not know what's going to happen, or I can guarantee you the FA Cup, we're having it. It's ours. I can tell you from the future, we're winning that, but not the other 2. Or you could be in the position we're in right now and not know any of it.
Not know.
Would you rather not know and have that, like, hope?
Yeah, because I genuinely believe...
Or is it just securing that silverware, that one piece, even though it's the smaller of the 3?
I don't...
Because we've already lost the smaller of the 4.
The saddest part about all of this is, and I felt this way about the Carabao Cup final, I wasn't that excited about it. I was it was just, I wanted to win it, obviously, but I didn't feel, I know it's also Carabao, FA Cup is different.
Yeah.
But there was an element of like, I was like, yeah. And then when we lost, I was like, it wasn't a great performance, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, on to the others.
Whereas an FA Cup final, I'd feel devastated to lose.
That's big.
And I don't know if it's just as a year adapts, like, for example, at the start of the season, there's proof, we do a podcast now. You're listening to it. At the start of the season, I said a cup at the top 4 I'd be very happy with.
Yeah.
And that was off the back of Liverpool spending $500 million, Chelsea spending another $500 million, City spending $500 million. And we spent a lot. I'm not saying we didn't. Spurs spent close to what we spent.
Yeah.
You know, you just looked at it and went, Man United went and got Sesko and Burmo. You're just kind of looking at it going, Cunha. And you're thinking, this is danger. Goal, a good goalie, a new good goalie.
Yeah.
And you just looked at it and thought, I don't know how we're supposed to try and win that league anymore.
It felt very hard.
It felt like we'd missed our boat.
Yeah,
And I thought, as long as we stay in the Champions League, I think we have a chance at winning it. I think at the start of the year I said, my dream scenario is top 4, win the Champions League. Yeah. And I said, but I would take FA Cup or Carabao Cup to win and a top 4. That's where our minds were at as Arsenal fans. No one really was putting us in title pictures. We were because we were there the last few years. Everyone was naturally saying Liverpool might win it, City might win it, even Arsenal might win it. That was the kind of conversation.
Yeah.
By 10 games in, I think we were all still in that same feeling. It wasn't until it got to Christmas that we were top and everyone was now going, they have to win it now. And you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting any of this.
You don't put the pressure on us.
Yeah, you weren't expecting it. So, but as it's adapted, it's become they have to win it. And that pressure changes.
Yeah.
And with that has changed a lot of other things. Now they're saying, they'd be failing if they didn't win the Champions League now.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no. We got a nicer draw with Leverkusen, but Bayern Munich got Atalanta. Sporting is a nicer draw. Cool. But, Barcelona get Atletico after Newcastle. I mean, that's an easier draw.
Yeah.
That for me, the conversation has become weird. It's like they have to win it now. It's like, well, no, because we still have to go play Barca, most likely. And we still have to play PSG or Bayern Munich in the final. And on that one night, be perfect and beat that best team in the world in PSG or Bayern Munich. There's so much to overcome. It's like, it's not a given that we're going to win that. Like, they're kind of acting like, well, if you don't win a treble now, I'd be really a bit disappointed. It's like, no, we can't move the goalpost.
What is win something?
To me, a treble is the ultimate, right? I think a Champions League, Premier League double is,
wow.
I don't think I'll experience that in my lifetime.
No.
And I still don't. I think just the Champions League and missing out in the Premier League, I think people would be extremely happy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, one of those two, yeah.
Yeah, I think there'll be a section of the fans would be disappointed. There'll be a section of fans that go, I don't care, we're now European champs.
Yeah.
We've won the Premier League. We've gone invincible. We've got those things. The only thing people chant at us, Forest do it, Villa do it, City do it, Chelsea do it, Man United do it. They go, you're not European. Where's your European trophy? Yeah. That's their go-to gag on us. Yeah. That's the one thing that I'd say is the blemish on Arsenal's history, is there's no major European trophy.
Yeah.
So if we were to do that, I think we'd all kind of accept the loss in the league and then we got caught up. But we'll take that.
Yeah.
If we win the FA Cup and miss out on everything else, like you were kind of mentioning, there's a chance. I think the Carabao Cup, because everyone said if you win the Carabao Cup and nothing else, that's a failure. Which kind of makes you also not enjoy the final because you're like, well, I'm happy to win it, but I mean, we're still considered losers if we win it. But
yeah, the pressure's still on.
But we still also have a chance to win other stuff. So if we were to win it, I think if it ended now, we went out to semis to Barca, we lost to City in the end, and then we won the FA Cup. I think the crowd would turn. Yeah. And I think Arteta would leave.
It has to be one of the two big ones.
It has to be. We have to bring in one of those two.
But what? I feel like
FA Cup is a lovely accoutrement to one of the big ones.
Yeah.
I think, and that's why part of me is like, do we just go out to Saints?
Yeah.
Because if we win that and nothing else, it doesn't matter. If we win something big and that, people will be really chuffed. But the treble is also there. Yeah. And the treble is history. That is, two teams have done it.
Yeah. I mean,
that treble. That is the treble.
The beauty of the FA Cup is it does have a similar vibe to the Carabao. If we lose that, like if we go out now, let's say, it takes a bit of pressure off and we can focus on the other two, which is the two we really want.
But it also heightens the pressure of now you have to go win them.
Yeah.
But even though, like we just said, I think if the pressure would move to, but now you have to win them. But whether we stay in the FA Cup and won it or not, we still had to win one.
The pressure's still on, yeah.
Yeah, so I think
that'll be with the Carabao. If people say we win the Carabao but not the others, we're still a failure. Yeah. So even if you win them, the pressure's still there.
Yeah. And by the way, I as a fan never want people talk about like, I wish we went out the FA Cup early so we can have rest. I'm one of these people that I want to see us play every possible game.
I want to see it all, yeah.
And I want to see us play. And this year is the first year where I think as an Arsenal fan, there's even I think this is in our history the first time we could possibly play every possible game.
We could
it's
play.
Never happened before.
Yeah, we could. Like the joy of seeing.
There might not be one game that we didn't play in.
Yeah, yeah.
And that'd be really
Which
cool.
would be mad.
Yeah.
And to say that we've played in all these finals and experiencing a final, whether you win or lose, is massive. Yeah. Getting to sit down at the start of a cup final and watch your team play, whether you lose or win, is a big moment. Yeah. So if we got to experience literally, if we were in the title run-in to the end,
Yeah.
And in all the finals, we get to experience what not a lot of football fans have probably ever experienced, of being in every single competition with a chance to the end on all four fronts.
I believe Liverpool 4 years ago were the only team that have ever played every game. They got the Carabao Cup final, FA Cup final, Champions League final.
So they know that feeling.
But they were never in the Premier League.
Oh, okay.
They were kind of... We knew they weren't winning it.
Yeah.
So no teams have actually gone the distance in trying in all of them.
Yeah.
Officially.
Do you think, because we got a 9-point buffer at the minute in the league?
Yeah, just for the record, Liverpool went the distance in all of them. They ended up taking down 2 trophies.
Yeah.
Which, again, probability-wise, if you're in for 4 right to the end, 2, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, because you've only got to get through that final, really.
Yeah.
Just get the job done on that day. But with a 9-point buffer in the league right now, technically right now, do you think there's a portion of the fans that if we won the Champions League but blew the league now, like we have done a few seasons in a row now, would they still have that feeling of... Like, because the Premier League is a long slog. Like, to win the Premier League...
It's the hardest thing to win, yeah.
By far. Like, the Premier League is the best league in the world. Like, every team is hard, no matter what.
Yeah.
To win the Premier League after a whole season is the achievement.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Winning any league, I'd say, is the hardest achievement, but particularly the Premier League.
Yeah, because, I mean, knockout tournaments are knockout tournaments. You could lose any day against anyone.
Yeah.
And we all know the Champions League is the Wild West.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how good Real Madrid's and Bayern Munich's and PSG's are,
or how bad Real Madrid are,
they
still make it.
It's
sometimes.
random. Yeah. Like it's like the difference between FIFA and Pro Evo football.
Yeah.
Like there's one that's consistent and there's one that is nuts.
Yeah, it's just
like
chaos.
The Champions League is chaos, and I think we have a good opportunity in the Champions League because of how random it is. Like, look what we did to Real Madrid last season. Look how far we came last season.
So much stuff has to go your way, and it's just like, to me, it feels like in the league, we haven't stuff necessarily gone our way, but so much has gone right for us at this point.
Yeah.
It feels like that was where we got our the luck.
Yeah.
It feels like surely you can't have your cake and eat it too. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And again, City won a treble.
Yeah.
You know, it's possible. People do it. Man United won a treble.
It's very doable.
But my dream scenario would we win the treble, because not only does it end the kind of the lack of European trophy, it also puts us with City, Man United as like we've won the treble.
It ends everything.
It ends European, the drought in the Premier League. FA Cup makes us even more the most winning team ever.
Yeah.
In FA Cup, and we get put into that category of just 2 other teams that have ever won that treble.
Yeah. It makes the team iconic.
It does,
which I feel they deserve.
Yeah, and that's my dream. I think. What's my possibility out of, if I was saying out of percentage, 100% meaning that the treble's going to happen? I would say I'm at like 10%. I say you have to have some kind of percentage because they all are right there.
It's an option, yeah.
We've got a nice draw in the quarters of both and the Premier League. In the Premier League, we've got a 9-point buffer. But so much can happen because when you do start to break it down, and like I said, Southampton away, I'd like to think even with the injuries and second team, we might be able to get through that.
Yeah.
Sporting Lisbon, I think we're better now. We should be able to get through them, barring any crazy incident like when you look at Italy with Bosnia and stuff. Like you could get a red card and it ruins the tie or whatever it is. So much stuff can happen. That's why it's so random.
Yeah.
But you'd like to think we're going to get to a semi for both of them.
Yeah.
If we do that and they drop points to Chelsea in the league, we beat Bournemouth, then we draw at the Etihad, and then we're at the semis.
Yeah.
So then we'd have 11-point buffer.
Yeah.
And we're in the semis.
Yeah.
Then I'd sit there and go, all right, that's a 20% chance
of going
treble.
up slightly.
But you then have to beat Barcelona over 2 legs probably. And
I
don't know. And then you might have to go beat City in the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
Yeah. We saw that.
We saw that. Yeah, it didn't look great. And then in the Premier League, you can also just lose to City. And then they're right there. And all of a sudden you're like, I don't think any of them are.
Yeah.
So we're very close to a treble. We're very close to winning nothing.
Yeah.
That's the part that I said on Monday. I said, once you start talking about it, you get really nervous because you start to realize, like, oh my god, we are on a knife edge.
Yeah.
Like we are balanced right between history and the end of this. You can't call it a dynasty because they've not won anything, but like
it's a real purple patch.
Yeah,
we've said it before. We've never experienced an Arsenal team like this.
No, you think
not consistently.
Pochettino's. There's a difference between being Pochettino's Tottenham and I don't know, Klopp's Liverpool.
Yeah.
But a treble makes us Klopp's Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah.
it puts us, it shoots them up there, and it makes all the other accomplishments like coming top 2 for 4 years running, and winning that FA Cup 5-6 years ago, and Carabao Cup finals that you lost, the Community Shields that you won. All of a sudden, all those things that people kind of go, yeah, but that was old, or that's just a Community Shield, or you lost that final. All that becomes a part of a dynasty if you win a treble here, or even if you win the Premier League, or even if you win the Champions League and Premier League. Even if it's an FA Cup Premier League double, that's like an Arsenal rite of passage. That's old school. You know, if you do something like that, I think you shoot from wherever we are in the middle of this bar to that's, you know, Klopp legacy type stuff. Yeah. If we don't come away with anything with Pochettino's Tottenham. Yeah. But at the same time, Pochettino's Tottenham was a 5-year period. Yeah. They got to a Champions League final. Yeah. And they won no trophies whatsoever. Yeah.
And they weren't consistently fighting for the league either.
And in ours, this is year 6.5 at the end of the season. There's an FA Cup and 2 Community Shields. Yeah. And 4 second place finishes.
Yeah, title run-ins, yeah.
And Poch came second maybe once. I think in the end he dropped to 3rd on that 1 year that he nearly won it. Yeah. But I think it still gets tarred with the same brush. I think it still gets, you know, painted with that. Do you know what I mean? I think you go from and he'll leave in the summer. Arteta, you have a little bit of time out. By December, he's PSG manager. Yeah. Or Barcelona manager, or God knows what. And we all sitting here with Nagelsmann as our manager. We're struggling to get wins. Yeah. He's had a falling out with Saka. He has to move on. Saka's on his way to Liverpool. Like I genuinely believe we're so close to either one. And
all or nothing.
And what's cool, and if you do like our podcast and you like our Patreon, is we're going to find out what side we sit on by the end. And, you know, there's little, you know, if we end up with just an FA Cup, you can't call that Pochettino Spurs. There's 2 FA Cups, 2 Community Shields in similar time. But it's not enough to put it above that.
I mean...
Do you know what I mean? Because if you look about it, it's like saying, are we as good as Ranieri's Leicester?
No.
They won an FA Cup and a Premier League.
Yeah, but there's something to the consistency and quality of this team, and also the work that Arteta's put in to build this club to the point it's at, not just on the field, in general. Yeah. I think if you're going to go by, like, hard work gets you rewards. Yeah. Like, in life, that happens. Yeah. If you work hard, you do get rewarded in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. The work he's put in, he's not just a manager that's come in like a Pochettino, like a Ranieri. They haven't just come in and changed the team and it's performing and it's won something or something like that. This is a guy that's come in and completely transformed the team. Mm-hmm. We're talking, he is doing Wenger-level stuff here. I know he hasn't finished it off with a trophy or anything yet, but the work he's put in is Wenger-level. And not many clubs have that, ever. Yeah. Now, not many clubs have a manager come in who is an ex-captain and transform the entire club. So I do think if you were to zoom out, let's say, I know that's a phrase we like to use a lot, but you zoom out and remove the fact that you're an Arsenal fan and remove the fear and the PTSD and the nervous feeling right now. If you look at that Arsenal side and you look at Arteta and what he's done, this team and having Arteta at the helm is not one of these Pochettino or Ranieri situations. It's not. Consistency and structure is there, and it clearly he's shown it. We've got better progressively, season by season by season by season, and just missed out narrowly on stuff. Yeah, this is a dynasty waiting to be crowned. I think the work he's put in, this is a dynasty waiting to be crowned, because if you remove the Arsenal fan element to it and the fear, you look from the outside as a neutral. You know, you remove that, like that.
You can remove all the narratives in the media.
Yeah, just remove it. Look at what it actually is. Yeah, it's impressive. This is a dynasty that hasn't been crowned yet, and I say yet because they will be crowned. Because it has to be, because it's not just a random manager coming in and winning a couple things here and there. The stuff he's done deserves to be crowned. And I do believe if you're putting out, like, what is it, like the positive vibes, you know, like the secret, what is that, the book? Like, where you put the stuff out there and it comes to you. He's put it all out there. And he is getting rewarded, just there isn't an actual physical reward yet. We've been rewarded. As Arsenal fans, we've been rewarded. I haven't experienced a run like this of a team for Arsenal, ever. Like, not like this. Like, where we get to enjoy run-ins and cup finals and tournaments. Like, I've never had this. So I do believe this team will be crowned of something.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the FA Cup again. I mean, this team will get a reward, and it'll be the Champions League or the Premier League, if not both.
Yeah.
I think one of them is coming to us. And I do believe the one that is tied to us now because of the work we've done is the Premier League. I think the Champions League, random. Never know. You don't know what's going to happen. I think we have a chance at the Champions League only because it is random, and you never know. Like, PSG are random, Barcelona are random, Real Madrid are random, Bayern Munich, it can be random. But I think the Premier League is the one. The work we've put in to consistently be fighting for it season after season, that is the one that is the crowning moment. It's the Premier League. Because that is the hard one to win. Yeah. With the structure and the consistency is there. I think that is the one that we're going to prove that we've been working towards this whole time.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that is dynasty. I'm just looking through the history of Arsenal managers, as you do. And Herbert Chapman, for example, he won the first division in 1930, 1932, and he won the FA Cup in 30, and he won a Community Shield 3 times. That's his legacy, and that guy has a statue.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is huge, because that is, 2 divisions, an FA Cup, and a couple of counties.
Yeah.
Arteta is essentially halfway there. If he wins a league, he just needs one more, and he's Herbert Chapman legacy at Arsenal. And then Joe Shaw also won the league, and so did George Allison. And by the way, George Allison won the top division twice, the FA Cup once, and the Community Shield twice.
Yeah.
Which is
not
pretty
far
much what
statue level, yeah.
But we don't talk about George Allison at all.
No.
But we talk about Herbert Chapman a lot. Bertie Mee, obviously, back in, was that 66? Yeah. He won the FA Cup. Intercities Fairs Cup. That's a European trophy you're not moaning about.
Yeah.
In the 70s, and he won the league. And again, he's a huge legend.
That's a name.
And again, that's because he brought in a European trophy.
Yeah. European dominance.
Yeah, and then you get to George Graham, and other than him being a Spurs manager, he won 2 league titles, an FA Cup, a League Cup twice, a Community Shield once, which was shared.
Yeah.
And then a UEFA Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, I remember that. Alan Smith 1-0.
Yeah, which is another European trophy.
Yeah.
And then we've got such a history of Scottish managers. I think that's really interesting. And then obviously it gets to King Wenger.
Yeah.
And it kind of he speaks for himself. He's got 5 FA Cups, a few.
And again, like we said with Arteta, transformed the club.
That's the thing I want to kind of say is that you're right. I think if you're in Arsenal, you understand where we were. And I talk about the start of the season, we all kind of agreed like any cup in the top 4 would be good. All of a sudden, it's like top 2 and an FA Cup is a failure. That's over the space of 10 months or 8 months even. Yeah. Now, when you look back, when we were watching Ljungberg take the field between Unai Emery and Arteta.
Yeah.
And we thought, where have we fallen to? Their crowds weren't in the stadium. Emirates was falling apart.
Yeah.
We were not in Champions. We weren't in any European football.
No.
And Arteta was coming in, and we were like, he's a first-time manager. I'm happy with it. We were questioning whether it should have been Vieira. But we were going, I don't know, I guess so. Let's see what happens. We got people like Bamiyang massively paid, and like Pepe and that.
A lot of behind-the-scenes money stuff going on.
So much going on, and we talk about that day he turned up, and he said, where are the drones? Why are they not up?
Yeah.
And all that. And it sounds so silly, but it's such a cultural thing of like, they'd become like, when the... Since Wenger left, and maybe the last couple of years of Wenger, there was about a 4 or 5 year period, I think, where they'd lost control of the club.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit, and certain players have even said it. You go to Arsenal as like a nice retirement club.
Yeah.
It's a respected club. They pay well.
Yeah.
They have unbelievable facilities, and they're a very lovely family club.
Yeah.
David Luiz said it. He said, I loved being at Arsenal. But it was also because he was like, I'm winding down. I'm not, when I was at Chelsea, it was like, we have to win no matter what. When I go to Arsenal, it's like, we don't have to win.
Yeah.
And we became that place. Yeah. People came to retire, and
it's a vibe.
It's a vibe, yeah. And Arteta came in and said, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And he got there, and it was true. Like, he got there, and he was like, it's a training day, and there was like 3 people in an office. There was no one out on the training field.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh no, because he's been there. He was there under Wenger when it was still tight ship.
He learn't from Wenger and Pep.
Yeah, and he was like, whoa, this is not good. And it sounded silly because that first comment he made, which was like, we have drones though. Why are they not up? And Pep Mertesacker was like, yeah, someone go get the drones up. It's like, it's almost like, like the the kids at class were just doing their own lessons.
Yeah.
And they had like a substitute teacher who was like having a cigarette in the corner.
Yeah.
And then the real teacher turned up after a sabbatical of like 6 months or so and went, "Whoa, what are we doing?" Everyone in their seats, and everyone went, "Oh God, oh no, we can't get away with it now."
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, and that can't happen immediately. You know, he dealt with the fans rioting because they wanted new owners.
Yeah.
He dealt with big contracts, dropping players. He won a trophy early just to kind of buy himself some time.
Yeah.
He said comments like, "In our 5th year, we're gonna challenge for Champions League and Premier League." From that thing,
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, he's there.
Everyone laughed at him.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed at him. So it's no different to when Ozil joined Arsenal. He said, "I'm here to win trophies," and everyone laughed at him. And he left with 3 FA Cups, 3 Community Shields.
Yeah.
And everyone went, "Yeah, but he didn't win anything major." It's like, he still won 6 trophies in like 4 years of being at Arsenal.
Yeah, he didn't specify what one.
No, he just said, "I'm here to win trophies." He won them, you know. And you look back at that, and Arteta sat through that. He's watched people laugh at him. He's watched the Prime doc come out, and he's got a light bulb in his hand. Everyone's made fun of him. You know, to this day, everyone makes fun of him. He's gone out there and completely been cheated out of wins, and said it's a disgrace, and got absolutely destroyed, and realised, like, yeah, it doesn't matter what I do, I have to stay on board.
Yeah.
He's learned all this on the job at a giant club where the fan base, dare I say, are borderline toxic.
Oh, definitely in
Like,
places.
we're a fan base that, in that Everton game, they were gearing up to boo at the end of the game, even though we played well.
Yeah.
And Everton were very good.
Yeah.
But then Dowman, a 16-year-old, that the manager makes the change, comes on, wins us the game, and they're dancing in the stand.
Yeah.
But you could feel it. They're all getting their arms ready. Like, here we are, we're going to boo.
Yeah.
And then that happens, and they go, "Ah."
I dare say that's the problem.
Yeah,
Like,
and again, that's the reason the narratives start in the media is because of that. It's the fact that, you know, if you say something silly about Arsenal, saying like, Alan Pardew saying they should have an asterisk next to them. They say it because they like, it's going to get a million hits, and a million Arsenal fans are going to call in, and our show's going to do numbers.
Yeah.
Because if you say that about any other club, they like Man United, they go, "Oh, whatever, we've won it all anyway."
Yeah.
Whereas that's what we need.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people are saying, like people like Keown and that, who stand by us. They're saying if they can get something over the line this year, they're a problem. Rio Ferdinand said it. He said, Rooney said it. He was like, if Arsenal win the Champions League or Premier League or both, we're in for trouble, because the only thing stopping them from winning the league last 4 years was they don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Because they haven't been there.
If we let them do it, this is a problem, because the players are going into their peak now.
They know how to do it now.
The best players of that team are now reaching their prime.
Yeah.
They've been doing this under.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, you're in for it's a problematic for the Premier League if we do go on to win stuff, because there's a confidence that grows. The fan base don't ring into TalkSport and moan, because that's the reason why you don't hear about Man United fans. It's because we've won a treble, we've won the Champions League twice, but more than that. You know what I mean? They don't need to.
But you have to.
Whereas we need to. We have to kind of defend ourselves because we've got nothing to show.
And that is, I mean, my main goal for winning at least the Champions League or the Premier League this season isn't so I can personally see that happen, which I can't wait to hopefully see that happen. Yeah. The main goal is to make sure that this thing that Arteta's built, that we're all enjoying, no matter what anyone says, stays in one piece. We've said it before, I would take us continuing on the route we're on right now, but never winning anything for the next 10 years. I would take that. Just to enjoy watching Arsenal and feeling good about it. Even if we don't win anything.
Yeah.
Over winning something and it all goes away.
But the problem is we're at a sticking point. Because we're at the...
That's my concern. That's the only...
It's not even a concern. I think it's fact.
That's the only pressure I'm feeling. It's not so I see that. It's not so I see Arteta lift the Premier League or the Champions League. It's so that we keep this Arsenal team in one piece. Because I don't want this to go away. I mean, these Arsenal fans that are being negative are probably the same ones that wanted Wenger out. And they don't understand, or they're spoiled. Because if they truly want Arteta out, what comes next you're not going to enjoy. A lot more than what is happening right now. Enjoy what we're doing. Because this right now, what we're experiencing right now with this club, is what Man United have been waiting... I don't even know how many years it is now. It could be 15, because years move quick. Since Ferguson left, Man United have been waiting for the moment we're in right now. Yeah. And they've never had it since
someone
Ferguson.
they can believe in like Ferguson.
It hasn't happened. And they're still waiting. And they're still wondering what's going to happen next for the club.
The problem is, in that time since Ferguson, which has been 12 years, 13 years, they've got 3 FA Cups. And by the way, I'm going to add something to this as well, because you do a couple of Carabao Cups, a Europa, It's a Community Shields. And I say all that as if that's impressive. And then I just realised that we also have like 4 FA Cups in that same period of time.
We have them.
3 or 4 Community Shields, but that's it.
And you talk about
we had a Europa Cup final, but if that was a win, we're same as Man United. But Man United, they seem less stressed. But I don't know if it's because I think if we'd stayed with Emery and then it went to Ljungberg, then it went to Vieira, and then he struggled, and then it went to Allegri or someone, and then someone else came in, I think if we'd done that for a period of time, I think there would be less stress. I think the stress has come with the fact we are good.
Yeah, we know it's there.
Now that the fans know we're good, it's like, now we please get something over the line.
Yeah.
But I was just going to read out the amount of time since a major trophy was won by these teams. Tottenham Hotspur, they are 314 days since they were last won a major trophy. Newcastle United are 1 year and 15 days. We have got Crystal Palace. They are 318 days.
That's mad.
We've got, I wanted to do the major clubs really. Liverpool, 338 days. We've got Man City, 9 days. We've got Man United. Sorry, I went Newcastle again by accident. One year. Man United is 1 year and 310 days.
Okay.
And then if we get to Arsenal, it's been 5 years and 242 days.
That is mad.
And it is mad because obviously it doesn't include Community Shields, things like that, because it's major honours.
Yeah.
But you start to look around, you go, Newcastle, Palace, Liverpool, City, Tottenham, Chelsea. It's all newer than when we've done it.
Yeah.
And you start to go, we're on like borrowed time almost. And again, a 5-year drought. And I actually thought about this the other day do you remember when we went for that FA Cup against Hull? I think it was 2014.
Yeah.
And we won 3-2.
Yeah.
We went 2-0 down and we thought, oh my God, we're cursed. That was do you remember that was the trophy drought that basically we were trying to end, and everyone was like, they have to win a trophy soon. And it went on.
Yeah.
And we could have won it in Birmingham in 2011, but we didn't.
Fumbled it.
We were, I want to say 9 years. That was a 9-year trophy drought.
That's mad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that felt like dangerous levels, right?
Yeah.
If we win the Premier League, since we last won a trophy in front of an audience, it's 9 years.
That's crazy.
We've won one in behind closed doors in that time.
Yeah.
But that was 6, nearly coming up to 7 years.
That's mad.
So when you think of it that way, it was 6 years. That's only 3 years off of that trophy drought that we've never had before.
Yeah.
And this is all under Arteta's reign. Is like, including his FA Cup, we are 3 years off of the biggest trophy drought we've ever had in our career.
Yeah.
In our history.
But if he wasn't there doing this,
then I think we would be going towards a 9-year
we'd
trophy
be nowhere near it.
Or David Moyes or someone would have come in and we would have gone, what's going on? He would have won an FA Cup and everyone goes, oh, okay, at least we got a trophy. But we were coming 8th every year.
But there is a difference, I think, between a manager. I'm not going to call him journeyman because it's disrespectful. But managers like Moyes and those kind of managers, they know how to win a trophy here and there. They'll come in and they'll figure out how to get you a trophy. They'll get you there somehow. Yeah. By hook or by crook, they'll get you there. But there's a difference between that and what Arteta has done. You were talking about Man United. You were talking about what Arteta did to our stadium, to our fan base, to the club in general. A massive club that was in disrepair and was on the way down. Man United in that spot. The club in disrepair.
Yeah.
Like they're scraping trophies here and there, but I mean everything's falling apart. There's stadium.
Well, people say is it standards though, because you look at Man United, the Amarin, they didn't like him, but he won an FA Cup or whatever it won.
But that those managers,
Ten Hag won.
Moreno.
I don't think Amarin won a trophy, but Mourinho won a treble.
Yeah, and they didn't like him. I'd much rather have this.
Yeah, same.
And no trophies, than have journeyman managers come through and pick up a trophy here and there. And then disappear again, and we have to kind of figure it all out all over again. I like the consistency and the comfortability I have right now.
I think, I agree, 100%. But I think this season we've put ourselves into a corner.
It's got to be done.
Where, do you know what's not going to happen next year? We're not going to start the season having won no trophies and Arteta's the manager. That just doesn't exist.
I'm so scared.
I think if we win an FA Cup, we do not start with Arteta. And that's what I mean. A Premier League or Champions League has to be done now, or this all goes away. And again, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because the next manager could be Hansi Flick, for example, and he goes on a 6-year tear, where we win the league every year.
You've talked about it before. Arteta might see it as, I got you this far,
but I cannot get you over the line.
We need someone to finish the job. And I respect that. If that's the reason, I totally respect that.
We could be doing this podcast in 6 years' time. Hansi Flick's won us 5 in a row.
Yeah.
We've just beaten that record. One of them was unbeaten.
Yeah.
and we've won the Champions League 3 times, and we don't even remember Arteta. We go, do you remember that really annoying spell where that little annoying guy kept like getting light bulbs out? And he came second loads. No, but we don't know.
I don't feel.
I don't think we will.
I think we'll always.
But we're going. Hansi Flick is the biggest Arsenal legend of all time.
Yeah,
and we want a trophy. We want a statue of him.
Yeah,
that could exist.
But I do believe no matter what happens after this season.
Yeah,
I do believe we're always going to remember this Arteta era.
I agree,
because there is no. I think this Arteta era stands with the Wenger era.
Yeah, it stands
sure.
alone. Yeah, I don't.
I think what he's done.
I don't think it stands with the Wenger era, but it You know, when you see, isn't there like a Walt Disney statue somewhere where he's holding Mickey Mouse's hand?
Yes, yeah, Disney. Yes, it's at Disney.
I think you'd expect it to be at Disney, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's how I see a Wenger and Arteta statue.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you were to win a treble.
Oh, phew.
Then it's a statue that I don't know of, which is 2 men holding each other. That are the same height.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's my analogy.
Yeah.
But we are gearing up. Okay, so the FA Cup, I will go deep dive. That is the closest game. I don't know when it actually is. I think it's.
I feel like Saturday's in my head.
With these international breaks really screw me because
I'm thrown off. I feel rested, but I feel thrown off.
Southampton is Saturday at 8:00 at night.
Oh,
what is happening?
Oh,
what?
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm gonna be honest. If I sat in here and tried to blag my way through it, I was never gonna pick that.
That's mad.
8:00 on Saturday.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Then we're on Tuesday at 8:00 against Sporting, and then with the 12:30 game against Bournemouth.
A lot to watch.
Yes. So Southampton, I think we'll see some of the players that got pulled from international, and everyone's gonna be mad. I think majority of the ones we got pulled aren't going to be there. Yeah. And people are still not going to go, oh yeah, maybe we should be sorry because they didn't play. They'll go, no, they were just going to rest them for Southampton anyway. It's like, trust me, Arteta knows how important all these trophies are.
Yeah.
If they're fit, they're playing. He couldn't care less if you're going to moan about them being pulled.
Yeah.
So if they're not in the team, guess what? They were injured.
Yeah.
But that's this weekend. I'm going to do a deep dive on that on the Patreon. So if you do want to hear that, you have to jump on the Patreon. As far just for you, because you're not going to be on that Patreon episode. What are you thinking? Is it looking good? I really don't like Southampton away.
I don't like Southampton away for starters. I don't like Southampton away on a Saturday night, even if it was at 5. I don't like Southampton away at 8:00 on a Saturday night under the lights at St Mary's. That to me feels horrific. Like I mean, I hope we break some sort of curse we have with Southampton. I think we'll win. Personally, I'm confident that we're consistent enough that we can figure out how to beat Southampton, whether it's away or at home, whether it's a daytime game, wherever it is. But there is something about Southampton away at night. It just feels wrong to me.
It does, and it's ironic because Southampton away is like a game that we all went to as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a very nice day.
It was 4-0.
It was a different stadium, obviously, but it holds like a nice memory. But visibly, it's got random injury and a 1-0 loss written all over it to me. I'll get deep into that Patreon, less about the how we feel and more about the stats and the cold hard truth. I'll get into and let you know like what the last set of fixtures were, how Southampton are doing currently, who I think will play, because obviously as it gets closer to Patreon at the end of the week, closer to Saturday, I'll have more of an indication of who actually might play because Arteta will do a press conference.
Yeah.
So check out the Patreon for that. Again, Sporting's next Tuesday, so I'll be previewing that on the Patreon as well as Monday main episode. I'll be talking about it. How are you feeling about the Champions League? Because you won't be on there until after we played the first leg.
I feel pretty good about the Champions League. I think we...
Sporting away, I believe they're going to be without their captain.
Yeah, I mean...
Gyökeres is obviously in the form of his life right this second and probably on the high of his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's in a Champions League quarterfinals against his former club. He's in FA Cup quarterfinals. He's in a title race in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he's just single-handedly almost dragged his own nation, who did awfully in the group stage, to a World Cup in America this summer. So now he's gearing up for that.
I feel like
I can't wait to watch Gyökeres in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I'm hoping his cards go through the roof.
Yeah, I bagged a couple of his rookie cards recently. I need a few more.
I hope the Americans find him and love the mask thing.
Heck yeah, I think they will. I think this Arsenal team, the way some of these players are for this current team we got together, and it includes Gyökeres and Zubamendi and these players, I think they are perfect for the Champions League.
Yeah.
I think there's a European vibe to us. And I think that setup and how random it is. But the Leverkusen game worries me a little bit.
I think we were very good in that Leverkusen game at all.
Yeah, I think...
The only thing I'd say is I've listened to a lot of podcasts with people that cover the Bundesliga, and they said that was the best Leverkusen have played all year.
Because they're fighting for it.
Yeah, and they also picked up the Premier League thing of they went man for man.
Yeah.
They went deep block.
Yeah.
And it worked. Because it's what works in the Premier League. That's what stops City from winning games. It stops Arsenal from winning games.
Yeah.
Side note, it's funny when everyone really wants certain players in the Premier League to play for England. And then when they do, and they go against a team with a low block, all of a sudden they don't know what to do. Yeah, because that's what the big teams are dealing with every single week. Yeah, it's really annoying.
Yeah. I think Champions League is so...
I don't think Sporting will do that either. I think they will come for us.
Yeah, I think that is going to be an open game, but I think the Champions League is so random and so just like hit and hope.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be hit and hope, but I think we get through it. I think we beat Southampton. I think we at least win 1-0 at Sporting.
Okay.
And
you're going to win.
And we're still in good stead, I think. Yeah.
That's cool. And then, obviously, before we go, I just wanted to just show you the Opta table has come out. So this is the Opta table as of right now till the end of the season. What they believe based on statistics, XG, and results in previous seasons and this season.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So Arsenal are currently first. They have us as a 97.7% chance of winning.
Okay.
The league. And a 2.3% chance of coming second and a 0 chance of anything else.
Wow.
Because I don't think we can actually come third.
Yeah.
City, they've got them at the reverse of what we just said.
Yeah.
But their chance of coming second is only 92 because they've got a 4.6 to come in third and a 0.7 of fourth because they can still come fourth.
Jesus.
Man United only City have a chance of winning the league according to Opta.
Yeah.
Man United, who mathematically can still win the league, have a 2.9 and coming second, but they 50% chance basically of third, 30% of there, but they go all the way down to 0.1 chance of coming eighth.
Okay.
They believe they'll come third. Villa, who are currently fourth, they believe that their best chance is they're going to come fourth. But they have quite a high chance of coming third, but they don't think they've got much of a chance of coming fifth. Pretty much they've gone and got everyone kind of exactly as they end. The hardest ones are Burnley and Wolves. They're not sure who's going to come bottom or second from bottom.
Yeah.
And they kind of think West Ham are not going to come any lower, but they are going to come third from bottom and Tottenham will just squeak it.
Yeah.
They think Tottenham have a 34% chance of squeaking it, but they also think they've got a 26% chance of going down.
Okay.
But they think they've got a 23% chance of going up, like staying up even one more position. So they're the kind of the big ones, the big boys. But yeah, Opta's got us very favourites.
And that's what I mean by removing your feelings and your fears and your PTSDs and just look at what's actually happening. From a statistical standpoint, right now, we should win the league. Remove the feelings.
Yeah, and it's funny to see some of these Optas from the start of the season. They had Liverpool winning the league with 73 points, and us on 72. That was their kind of gauge.
Yeah.
And what points do we have now? Is it 61? When you have these internationals, you really lose like that, like general knowledge. You kind of have
steam.
Like up to a certain point. We are currently on 70 points.
Okay.
So they had us getting 2 more points the rest of the season at the start of the season. They had Liverpool winning with 3 more points.
Jeez.
So if people at the start of the season saw that, we're going to need 85 points to win the league. It's a crazy season. But I'll be back at the end of the week to preview Southampton. I'll be back at the start of next week here on iTunes and Spotify as well as the Patreon, talking about what happened in that game. And then Tuesday will be a Patreon gearing up for Sporting that night.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, Joe will be back in the studio the day after the Sporting game, reviewing everything that's just happened in those quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And previewing with me.
Yeah.
Bournemouth coming up.
Okay.
Which is going to be a horrifically horrible. Premier League games just stress me out.
Yeah, they do.
Which proves why that's the one that I really want to win.
That's the
one. But we will be back. Joe and I will be back next Wednesday. I'll be back on Patreon, but I'll be back next Monday. If you're just here on iTunes and Spotify, please give us a 5-star review and tell your friends about it. We're Arsenal, you know. If you're an Arsenal fan, let Arsenal fans know. And
keep it positive.
Keep it positive, yeah. We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.